Everything old is new again. The 90s nostalgia train keeps on running. Let's talk about the new Hulu series, The Full Monty. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my TV review for Hulu's The Full Monty. This is a brand new series. It's actually listed as a mini series, so we may only get the 8 episodes that are currently up in this, initial run. But these days that always comes kind of with an asterisk, because if it has a good reception, everybody's interested. Maybe they will bring it back, for additional seasons. Hard to say, but for now we've got the 8 episodes on Hulu. And before we dive into the specifics of this show and my thoughts on it, I want to welcome you into Dan Reviews It. Thank you for finding this video. We've got a bunch of great stuff on the channel for you to check out, movie and TV reviews alike, and I try to post something new just about every day for you. So please consider subscribing down below. Would love to have you aboard there, or like this video, share it on your socials, comment below. All that stuff does help the channel out. All right, so The Full Monty, I've gotten a little behind on my TV reviews. I sometimes I'm talking about things, oh, well, this just wrapped its first season or whatever. But I was introduced to The Full Monty film just last year. It was the 25th, I guess, anniversary of the movie, and I had never seen it before, so we did it for a video here on the channel, which you can check out. I'll actually put the link at the end of this video. But I fell in love with it. I thought, oh my God, this is so good. It was a lot more intense than I thought in terms of, the depressing storylines and all this kind of stuff. It was a lot heavier than I thought it was going to be. And the TV show sort of takes that ball and runs with it. Now, I know since the movie, they did a big Broadway musical show too. So this thing kind of just lives on. It's so cool. And everyone, pretty much from the main cast of the film, is back. So you've got Mark Addy, Robert Carlyle, Leslie Sharp, Hugo Spear, Paul Barber, Tom Wilkinson, and Steve Hewson. They were all in the film, and they are all back reprising their roles. So this is basically, 26 years in this version of the story after the events of the first movie. Everybody in the gang is attempting to, figure their lives out the way they are now. Some people have kids, and some people are divorced, and X, Y, and Z. So basically, it's just kind of a, hey, let's check in with these people. And I just found out about this a few weeks ago. I think it was a pop-up ad or something on Facebook maybe, but, they're always listening in to to what we like and whatever. So I guess they know I like The Full Monty. So I saw this ad and I was like, wow, I didn't know they were doing a show. Who's coming back? What is the story going to be? And really, it just does act kind of as an extension to the original film, much like a lot of reboots these days, like the Roseanne and Connors reboot or the Will and Grace reboot. We're just kind of picking up where we left things off. They're not necessarily going in new directions per se. Yeah, there's different plot lines, obviously, from the movie. Everyone has, grown a bit, and there's a lot of changes going on. But for the most part, I think this show acts as a really good extension to the movie. And that comes with both positives and negatives. In the slight negative column, I'm not sure that we really needed 8 episodes with these guys. I think maybe a follow-up movie would have sufficed. And it's not to say that I ever necessarily felt the length of it, but I will say that there are certain characters that we only got to know a little bit in the movie, and learning about their sort of extended backstory and all of that, spending more time than we did with them, percentage-wise from the movie, I don't know that we necessarily needed it. They were fine and interesting enough stories, but the show really, really shines for me when it's focusing on the Robert Carlyle or Mark Addy characters. Sometimes both, a lot of times they're in the same scenes together or whatever, but the Gaz and Dave stuff for me, and it was, by far, I thought the best part of the movie as well. in terms of the character development. And it makes sense because they got the most development and sort of storylines in the movie. And here, and look, I've always liked Mark Addy, even long before I saw the full Monty. He had a sitcom called Still Standing, which I thought was very funny. And whenever he pops up somewhere, I'm always like, okay, I really like this dude. I've never seen him give a performance I thought was, phoning it in or less than. So I love when either of those are on those guys are on the screen, or both. That's when it shines the most, kind of like it did in the movie. But not to say that the other stories are boring or anything. Like I said, I don't know that this needed to be a full, 8-episode thing. Even 6 episodes probably would have, I think, given us what we needed out of these characters and these stories. But that being said, if they do decide to bring it back for season 2, I'm on board for that. As long as we've got the players and stuff involved, I'm definitely on board for that. It's funny, it's the full Monty, obviously, in kind of name only. They're not doing, strip shows here in this in this universe, in this world. But obviously, it's all the same character, so you want to call it the same thing. But the comedy here, much like the movie, it's not as in your face. It's not as obvious. It's more sort of slice of life kind of stuff, which I particularly gravitate towards. I like that because look, life is funny. I don't mind going broad with it too and having pratfalls and whatever. But there is something to be said for kind of the more grounded, more down to earth sort of humor, and I think we get that here along with, like the movie, some of those darker elements that I think I certainly didn't expect going into the movie. But I'm glad they sort of stuck to those themes here with the TV show. So one more other thing of note. So I will say the guy that I guess he directed the movie, or maybe he wrote it, Simon Beaufoy. So he actually is an Oscar winner because he wrote the... or did he direct? No, he wrote Slumdog Millionaire. He won an Academy Award for Best Adapted Screenplay, but he's also written for one of the Hunger Games movies, 127 Hours, this great movie called Battle of the Sexes. So he's been around for a while, and he wrote the full Monty. So he helped create this show. But here's the interesting twist. He helped create it with this woman named Alice Nutter, who the only thing I know about her is she was in the band Chumbawamba. She sings the female part in Tub Thumping. She sings the Oh Danny Boy part of so when I saw her name come up on this, I'm like, what does she have to do with this? So I guess she has, come into writing and whatnot in recent years. So she either wrote or co-wrote or gets a story by credit for all 8 of these episodes along with Simon Buford. So just sort of a little interesting like trivia tidbit, I guess, about this show. But because the dude who wrote the original movie gets the story by or the writing credits for each of these episodes, or co with Alice, it does stick to that sort of same vibe. It's got all of the same pieces in place that made the movie I think so beloved by many. So look, this is not gonna be quite as good as the movie for me, but like I said, if they do a season 2, I'm on board for that. They could have, I think, maybe trimmed these down a little bit, or even just made them half-hour episodes instead of 43 minutes. Maybe that would have helped too. But for me, I give the full Monty TV series a B. And you can check out all 8 episodes of that right now on Hulu. All right, thank you so much for watching Dan Reviews It. We'll see you next time. Bye.